everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Handmade by Ying with Donna. Today is March the 1st, and we're here today for the Sweet Childhood Memories, Block 9, called the Toolbox. This sew along is hosted by Pat Sloan, and you can find all of her information in the description box below. I love to make quilts.com. This is going to be a fun, fast sew, and at the end I'm going to show you all the blocks I've done leading up to this. This is going to come together so sweet, and it's really cute how she's got it laid out. So first I needed to cut 5 blocks of the same of my light fabric, 5 blocks of the same of my medium fabric, and out of that I'm making HSTs that are going to square down to the same size. I can't give you the measurements. And then I've also had to cut 9 dark fabrics that's going to snowball on the corner. So let me give you a little look-see. So here's my first 2 blocks, and we're going to marry these together. And the easiest way to do that is I like to line them up like this and just finger them in. Then I'm going to put a pin on either side. I've already took the liberty of drawing my line across the top. I really love using my Omnigrid. It gives me the perfect line every time. So I've already done that. So let me get this pinned in because I don't like them to shift at all. So I've already made the first sets going through, but I wanted to show you how easy this is. You're just going to line yourself up and come up one side and down the other. So let me get this going. And then we're going to do the same thing down the other side. Then we're going to break it apart. We're going to press the seams, set the seams, square it down, and then we're going to get ready to add the next sections. So pop the pins. And then now we're just going to separate it. And you're going to use your line here and come straight down. I also like my Alpha. Pat sent me this and I dearly love it. So I'm going to finger press my seam. Then I'm going to apply the heat to it. But before I do that, I'm going to use a little dab of magic juice. It's going to help me set my seams really nice, and they're going to lay extra flat. And that's Acorn pen for those that don't know. And you can get that off Amazon or anyone that has a shop. And just set your seam really nice. And you're going to do the same on this side. And then just press it flat. Take these, and now we're going to square them down. And if you've done everything right, you're basically cutting your dog ears off. But I still come up one side and across the top. Then I pull it apart. And as you can see, that's dog ear. And we're going to do the same on this side. And line your ruler right up here. Got the dog ears. And I've got a little bit of a waffle. And we're just going to trim that off. And we're going to repeat one more time, and you're going to have one extra block in this. So I'm going to go ahead and square it while I'm here, and then I'll set this aside because you're not going to need all 10. You're only going to need 9 for this. And like I said, you'll be able to find her pattern online, really simple. Go under Sweet Childhood Memories and give it a print. So we've got all of those made. So I'm going to flip the page and go to the next step. And what we're going to do is you're going to take your dark fabric and you're going to repeat this 9 times, this simple step. You're going to take it and you're going to pin it in the corner. And one thing I recommend, but you don't have to, I use my seam guide tape. But for demonstration purposes, I will go ahead and use my Omni. And I'm going to go ahead and draw the line. There's multiple ways you can do this. I'm just going to give you a couple quick little demonstrations on how you can do this. And you're going to want to sew on that line just a little scant off. So I'm going to give you a couple different ways to do this. That's one way. You can also take it like this and fold it. And then just finger press it. You got that line there now that you're going to be able to utilize. This is the way that I do these anytime I'm doing a little corner. And it always seems to work handy dandy. And I just sew on the crease. So use your preferred method. But this is the way that I choose to do mine. Just a little finger press. Or don't do any and use just your seam guide. And then I'm going to sit this in. And we're going to press a little pin right here at the corner. And we're going to repeat this all 9 times on the dark side. That's considered our medium color. So anyone sewing along with this, Kendall also is one of her ambassadors that sews, so you could check out his videos as well. He does a fabulous job. And we always direct you over to Pat's site so that you can check out so many more things that she has going on. She's got a lot of sew-alongs, and every day she's got something new coming out or working a great project. She has not ceased to disappoint me on any level with anything that she's got coming out. I love this sew-along in particular. It's going to make a really cute quilt when it's done. Like I said, these blocks come out every Wednesday for this particular sew-along. So you have to check out her site for when the next ones come along for the different sew-alongs that she's got going on. And you don't have to pin. I just prefer to pin. So I'm finished with these, and I'll set all of this goodness aside. And now you got to decide which way you want to go. I'm going to put the dark on this side, and I'm going to sew just a scant. Right where my presser foot it lands, right where the seam is where I want this to land. And I'm halfway through, so I'll pull the pin and set it aside. And we're going to do this on all of them. And just repeat the process, like I said, 9 different times. This is one of the ones I folded to give me accuracy as well. And I'll show you the difference between them as we get a little closer to where I'm separating them. But I'll do the fold back method and show you as well. And these colors, this is really cute. I'm doing mine really scrappy. Other ones are doing them with a total fabric line. You use your own judgment on what you want to do. I'm just showing different ways that you can utilize your scraps. Instead of just leaving them sit, you can utilize them. So we've got all 9 done. So now we're going to snip them apart. Careful not to snip anywhere you're not supposed to. You don't want to have an oops. So I'll leave my pins there because I will be using those again. And as you can see, you're going to fold this back and you're right there where you need to be. And doesn't that block look just cute? I've got a wee little string there I didn't want. So I'm going to take a second and give these a quick little press just to set it in, and then I'll snip them off. And then we'll do the same. If it's not right now, you want to fix it. And then we're going to snip those corners, but right now it's important to just check and make sure that everything lines up. And if whether you've did the fold over method or the marking method, or you're using your seam guide tape, whichever way you prefer to do these, use your method. The end result's gonna be the same. And I love how simple, instead of marking, I can just fold and get the same result. And they're perfect every time. So now we've got that far. And now we're gonna snip these off. There's multiple ways you can do it. You can fold it back. I've seen some people leave them. I wouldn't dare. I don't want that extra bulk. And you're going to do the 1/4 inch, and you're just going to do a quick snip. 9 more times. And if you're really wanting to do something cool, let me show you this. A lot of my friends, we don't like waste. So what we do is go ahead and do a secondary sew, is what we like to dub it, if you like that little tiny piecing. Or you can wait until you have them like this and sit and finger press them all back in. And slide it under, and you're going to do the 1/4 inch. I have a little box of all these little snippets. And I'm going to do a Jacob's ladder, I think, with mine. Tiffany, a friend of mine, she does the coolest stuff with little tiny pieces. So there's times you don't want to work a big project. You can use these little tidbits and make a secondary project. So I started doing that, just setting them aside, making them ahead. And someday they'll be in my little toolbox, and I'll be able to lay them all out, square them up, and come up with a fabulous idea for a cute wall hanging. And until you've seen some of these other creators out there making these cool projects, you learn to save as much as you can. And just sew them in, and then you're going to cut in between and take them off and just set them aside. And it's quicker for me to just do it now than to go back after I've already trimmed them and do it. And trim your threads. But look how stinking cute this is going to be. And it'll end up being about an inch, inch and a half when I'm finished with it. I think it's cute. So I'm going to lay this here, and I'm going to come right up the center and snip it off, and I've already got one made. Now how cool is that? So we're going to do this a total of 9 times. And just set them aside. Quick, simple, and painless. So now I've got all of these as a secondary project that I can add to. and 1 bonus block, all set aside. So I'm going to close my rotary cutter, and we're going to lay this block out the way that she's recommended. So you're going to take all of your darks and you're going to face them to the left, just like this. Now tell me this isn't going to come together really stinking cute. And this, she dubbed the name the toolbox, and I love it. So I like to do a lot of chain piecing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold over here and start down this side, and I'm going to fold over here and do the same. And chain piecing ensures that my blocks don't get all askew. Let me move these up a little bit. And you're going to want to stay true to your 1/4 inch here. And you're just going to pick up your stack and continue the process. And repeats. Then you're going to separate right here for a second, and you're just going to fold it over, finger press it down. So right here, all you do is finger press each one, and it doesn't matter which order you pick the next one up because they're going to stay the same. And you're going to lay it over and slide and just sew it in with your 1/4 inch. And I stop about I want to say 1/4 inch, and I pick up the next one and lay it in. That way everything's going to stay good and tight for me as I get ready to sew the next one in. And bring this one over, lay it down, and join it in. Make sure it's lined up where you want it, and just 1/4 inch. And I lost the bobbin race. So let me do a quick bobbin change. It happens to the best of us. And slide, tuck, and repeat. Lay my string aside, and we're gonna catch right back up there where it was. Quick, simple, and painless. Now you can opt here to go ahead and break everything apart, or you can do like I'm used to doing and make sure your seams are going opposite directions because you want everything to line up. This one's going to come this way, so you're going to go once this way, once this way. So just make sure when you're finger pressing them in, you're doing them that way, and they'll lay really flat for you. And the bottom one is going to go to the right. Then all you have to do is kind of like make yourself a little sandwich. See how it all stayed together? No matter what I do with it, it's going to stay. So I'm going to lay it like this, fold it over, and you can pin or you can eyeball it. I'm going to go ahead and just line it up, and I'm going to give it a quick check here, and I'm going to go ahead and pin right here. You don't put that much work into them for them not to line up, right? Even though I've got that thread right there holding them, I just want to make sure that they're in right. We're going to give it a little swing by. And 1/4 inch once again. And there's no bulk if you're lining your seams up right. You can iron them flat or you can line them up to where they're just different directions. So now, what do? You just fold it over one more time, turn it, make sure you're lined up here, and everything's going separate directions. And pin. Repeat here and pin. And just spin it around, line it up, top to bottom, and let your machine do the work. Don't go pulling and lugging on your fabric. Just let your machine do the pulling it through. Now, this is where my seam guide tape comes in real handy. I really enjoy using it as well. Now here you're going to flip it over and you're going to press your seams open. So before I ever do that, I like to just finger press just a smidge to make sure that everything's going to lay right. Nice and flat for me. And then we're going to do this one right here as well. It takes just an extra second, but it comes in so nice when you're joining all these blocks in the end. So I get my board and let's press these in really flat. I really like how everything lays super flat with chain piecing it. And I don't have to worry about anything getting all mucked up. So we flip it over and give it a real quick press. And then your block, she gives you the measurement, but I'm not going to give you the size it should be. Go to her website, print her pattern, and work it up. And you're going to get all of the information on the sizes that you're going to need. Now, is that not one of the cutest blocks you've seen in a long, long time? This is block 9, and I'm going to show you the other 8 blocks in no particular order. I just wanted to show you. So this is number 9. I'm just going to number them, but they're not in any particular order. So this is another one. Now look how cute that came out. Then we've got, aren't these just darling? And once again, I have extra pieces so I can hold on to everything. Look at how cute. Each and every month, she has the most amazing blocks. Now this was a fun one to do as well. Adding a big splash of color. That way it's tying in all of my favorite colors on this one. I call Pat Sloan's blocks for this sweet childhood memory a win-win. You can't go wrong. And look at this one. Is that not darling? So if you haven't joined up yet, it's never too late. You can always get her patterns each and every week. They come out on Wednesday mornings. So slip over to Pat's site and give it a look-see. As you can see, these sew-alongs are fun. They're fast. It's fabulous. And in the end of 16 weeks, you're going to have a quilt top. Now, how cool is that? So if you haven't gotten your fabric yet, check out the fabric line that Pat's using. It's stunning and beautiful. I like to use up my scraps, and I'm going to make this real scrappy. This is going to be a charity quilt. So you guys take care. God bless. Have a fabulous week ahead, and I'll see you back for another video on the next block when it releases next Wednesday. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.